everybody look up, watch out, and keep up. It's your boy StillVinSane. This is the Keep Up program. We are live right now on Facebook. That's for you, Tina Desmond, my grandmother. She requested the show. I guess she hadn't caught up in a little while and she didn't notice that it was on Facebook. It's back on Facebook. Instagram has been giving me trouble, so we're going to keep it here for a little while. To my Twitch audience, welcome. You've been here for a little while. Hopefully, I'm getting more thanks to Osmalo. He is big on Fortnite. Shout out to his friends that had me on their live stream recently. I'm going to try to be on there more with my video games, with their video games, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals. Let's geek out. Right now, I'm playing NBA 2K25. I'm also playing MLB The Show, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I know that Assassin's Creed Shadows, the first Black protagonist, just came out recently. I'm also playing Jedi Survivor for Star Wars. But let's get into what the fuck happened. Osamalo, you gave me a tip. Let's start off with something funny first because Mindy Kaling, she is one of the writers of the American Office, the U.S. version of The Office, her and BJ Novak. And her show, sorry that we're skipping to TV a little bit. She got one of her shows. She has many successful shows, but one of the shows that is on Max, a Max original, was Sex Lives of College Girls, starring Timothée Chalamet's sister. Renee Rapp was on the first few seasons. It was a very, very good show. And so it just got canceled on its third season. But luckily, she has not only a deal with Max, she's that talented. She has another kind of similar deal with Netflix. So maybe it will go over there. But my point is that she feels the way that I feel and the way that Oscar feels. We need funny. We need funny. Today, in these kind of times, we need jokes. So I'm down. I'm down for the cause. I know that we talk about some serious things on here, but I'm going to try to mix it up. That's the point. All right. So let's do this first one from BBC. Earrings worth $769,500, $7,000, almost $800,000, recovered by the Florida police after alleged thief swallows them. Jathan Gilder swallowed the Tiffany & Co. Damn, he's got taste. Diamond earrings found around the time he was taken into custody. He was monitored by the Orlando hospital more than a dozen days, and they were expelled from his system. That reminds me of Steve-O from Jackass when he had the un carito in his colito. So that and Tiffany's, they retrieved them from his rectum, and they have said that they have since cleaned the earrings. Wow, I've heard of blood diamonds. I've never heard of shit diamonds. That would be amazing. Like right here, straight from the hole. So anyway, that's crazy. Florida man, you continue giving us gems. No pun intended. Tiger Woods. He was looking a little sad during Black History Month. By the way, here's my shirt. Black History is forever. So we'll double dive into some sports real quick. So Tiger Woods is dating Lara Trump. That is Don Jr.'s ex-wife. And nothing really to report there. Lara Trump, she is is it Lara Trump? Vanessa Trump? Vanessa Trump. Sorry, Vanessa Trump. Lara Trump is the RNC director. My bad. So Vanessa Trump, she is the ex-wife. Kimberly Guilfoyle is now with Donald Trump Jr., I believe. And she's pretty nasty looking, to be honest. A lot of Botox. But everybody's doing it. Ozempic and Botox, it's like it's like chocolate pudding. It's that common. So Tiger Woods, he was looking a little rough with the hair on Black History Month. He wasn't really talking, but shout out to him. His mother died recently. That really sucks. So that's probably why he was looking like that. But it doesn't stop him from dating. It doesn't stop him. So at his school, a very rich preparatory school, his kids enjoy her. So who knows? But again, she is by marriage to the Trump family, and now she is dating Tiger Woods. Let's get into some news. Columbia University has caved into all of the demands, virtually all the demands of the Trump administration and his executive orders, quote unquote, anti-Semitism. Khalil is still in detention. There is a woman that deported herself to Canada. There's also a woman, I believe she's in another detention center reporting. It really stinks. It's not a good time for migrants in general, whether you're legal or not. Even if you're brown, there's some brown people getting stuck in the jails. In my opinion, not to stay too much on this, they are redefining anti-Semitism. We have talked about this before. Anti-Semitism is anybody of the Abrahamic religions in that area, the Arabic areas. Right now, it's I mean, I hate to simplify it too much, but it's basically Polish people. No, I'm joking. They're redefining it and they're weaponizing it. So let's see how that goes. This administration, in my opinion, is using that against higher education. He does not like higher education. I know he went to Wharton, but he does not have the vocabulary of it. So I don't know how he must have bought himself that degree. But anyway, let's get down to Elon Musk. He was crying last week because his cars are on fire. The reason why I say that is because terrorism is the eye of the beholder. So this country likes to forget that John Adams was a terrorist, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. They were all terrorists because they were going against King George III and throwing tea into the ocean because they were protesting the taxation without representation of the king, of the monarchy. They did not like that. So I don't know what other way to protest other than to hit him where it hurts. He is the richest man in the world, and he does not seem to be listening to popular opinion. Let's make this clear. The election only has 20, it was 22% vote went to him, around 21% went to Kamala. It's not that many people participating in, so less than 50% of the country voted. So it's not it's not technically a mandate. I know he won the swing states. I know he won the popular vote, but that's not what it means. So there are people who do not want him to be doing what he's doing. So some people have been lighting his shit on fire. So those people definitely deserve to go to jail. But there's a lot of us, and some people are meant to protest. Suffering. I read a Buddhist book recently. I think I mentioned it before. If that's what you want to do, I don't even go in the streets to protest. So, like, that's on you. I'm never going to be the one to do that. But I do believe in protesting, and I do believe people over property. I believe that property can be saved and restored. People cannot. So, so one of the reasons is because he's receiving information about China defense. And that was a report, that was a leak. And they want to prosecute the leakers. Hey, what's up, Oscar? Thank you. He's talking to us from Twitch. That's awesome. So yeah, he's getting information from them. Right now, ICE just brokered a deal with the IRS. So now they can go to IRS and report names, submit names, and they will give back based on tax history of where they need to go and detain migrants. That's crazy. So no wonder people are lighting up his shit. They can't light up the Cybertrucks, though. The Cybertrucks are lighting themselves up, and he had to recall them recently. Those are some fucking ugly vehicles anyway, so I don't know why. Sticking to the White House, Trump is throwing a tantrum. Mr. Brosberg, the Justice Brosberg, did not feel there was significant evidence to bypass his to bypass his order and his injunction to stop the migrants from going Aguas de Tueras, I forgot what their name was, the gang. There is no evidence that they're in this gang, this Venezuelan gang, but he still sent them to El Salvador. They are incarcerated over there. That sucks. So Judge Brosberg was like, why did you why are you expressly declining my order, violating my order? And so they believe that it was verbal, and anything verbal doesn't count. Roseberg said, it doesn't matter if it's verbal, written. I gave that order. You have to follow it. So what I've been noticing is the White House has been blogging a lot. So basically, preventing abuses of the legal system and the federal court, they would like eventually, the Trump administration, I think I mentioned this before, they would like eventually to bring all of these injunctions in a nationwide swoop and tell the Supreme Court to limit them. And that's scary because they've been trying to do this for a while, Democrats and Republicans. It just so happens that around 60 something of these executive orders have been blocked out of the 90 since like 2008, I believe, have been mostly Trump. Trump has been mostly getting blocked. When in my estimation, that means you're breaking the law. You don't have to judges don't have to get involved if you're not breaking the law. So the Trump administration, Pam Bondi, they're like, yo, and the leader of ICE, yo, you're stepping in too much. But to be honest, the three branches of government are co-leaders. And I know, so the president has to execute the laws, the legislative branch makes the laws, and the judges interpret and order the law. They can't go out there and make the law either. They can't make the law, but they can judge the opinion, and you have to listen to them. And they're not doing that. So Trump wants to bring it to the Supreme Court, and that's dangerous because, again, the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas and Roberts and a few over the years, even retired ones and dead ones like Scalia, they have believed injunctions to be in the way and used too universally and use it and it pretty much puts a dead stop in any president's agenda. So we'll see how that goes. It's really not cut and dry like that. We're going to find out later how that develops. I talked about ICE. We talked about the Florida man. That's crazy. All right, we talked about that too. All right, Israeli airstrikes. The IDF right now, Bibi Netanyahu is being tried for the malfeasance, like I said, of what's been happening. He fired one of his defense cabinet members, the leader of the defense cabinet. He is trying to place blame on October 7th on someone else, not him. In my opinion, this all has to do with keeping him in power and keeping Israel segregated and Israel in control of Palestine. As a matter of fact, they're meeting right now to discuss Trump's plan, the one that everybody laughed about. They want to take people from Rafah and Gaza and put them anywhere else in another country. They also want to seize more territory while they break the ceasefire. They are bombing Lebanon right now. They are bombing Lebanon, and it's Hezbollah group, terrorist group, whatever you want to call it. I believe all of this is terrorism. IDF, everybody involved. All war is terror, in my opinion. And so, so they broke the ceasefire. They believe that Hamas is not cooperating with the hostage exchange. And so there's just more carnage, unfortunately. And some good news, some semi-good news. We have Pope Francis. He was in the hospital for a while and for 5 weeks. And so he's recovering. He made his first public appearance. This is the leader of the Catholics. And some people say all Christianity, but let's calm it down. It's mostly the Catholics. So he's going to need at least 2 months recovery. He's an old dude. So hopefully you get your rest, my man. Hopefully you get your rest. Let's see. No, I don't want notifications, but I'll allow the cookies. We'll allow the cookies. Istanbul Mayor Amalagu arrives to jail pending trial in Turkey. Wow, spelled the official way, Turkiye. Oh, kind of like Ye. He's going to be later on the program. Just you wait. Very juicy, Mr. Ye. And his logo, so crazy. So, so anybody that says that like we lock up our political opponents doesn't really watch or listen or read about international news. Right now, Erdogan is trying to throw the mayor of Istanbul. He is his contender, and as a matter of fact, Erdogan lost his political alliance. They lost heavily handedly. So he knows that he's on his way heavy handed. His coalition is done. They got voted out. So he's on his way out. So he is trying to jail the mayor. That's what it looks like from over here. He is trying to jail the mayor so that he has no competition. That this guy is on the edge of beating him to be the leader of Turkey, and Erdogan does not want to cede power. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. So hopefully, he's not going to bow down the mayor, and hopefully he fights out this political, what he thinks is a smear campaign. I believe that it is, just like Russia did with Alexander. I forgot how to say his name, but he has a documentary, I believe, on Amazon Prime. It is very good. I believe it won many awards. You should check that out. So that really sucks. We got Pope Francis who did that. Oh, the Guardian doesn't want me to read their news. Oh, we read that already anyway. Let's talk about the Democrats. I am not a Democrat. Technically, I am. I switched to Democratic Party just so that I can vote in the primaries for Bernie Sanders. I'm a big Bernie bro. Speaking of Israel, he voted recently, and you can't be perfect. Can't be perfect. Bernie is not a god. He voted on he usually is against Israel and their tactics, not against the country Israel. He's Jewish. There's no reason to be against Israel. But he recently voted for the latest bombing session because he's against Hamas. And nobody wants Hamas to run that government. Most of nobody. They want the PLO to come back, or they want some other faction. Whatever your agenda is, it depends on that perspective. But my point is that Bernie and AOC are hitting the trail. They're hitting the campaign trail. Trump made it very popular to do like big, large, what's it called? Tours, pretty much. He did these all out in the open. That's why he got shot in the ear. They don't even, Secret Service hates when he does that, by the way. They're like, yo, keep it inside. Stop playing so much golf. It costs a lot of money to protect this guy. One of the reasons why his children are not in the cabinet with him is because they spent a record amount of dollars. Don Jr., Ivanka, they spent a record amount of Secret Service dollars. So not only did they not want to be there this time, or Eric Trump, Lara Trump, they can't afford it. The country can't afford it. They can't afford to protect this whole family. So the nepotism had to stop right there. But Democrats are failing. They're failing. 22%, or around 27, something like that. A poll came out recently, and they showed the disapproval of the economy, handling by Trump administration, immigration, all the things that he's been touching upon. The tariff war. But even worse was the Democrats. They got an even lower rating. And this could be a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing is this is where the Republicans were when Trump emerged in his populist movement. And the Democrats, this is a defining moment for them. Right now, there's some infighting, which is good, The Democrats should not be a monolith. They should not all be a hive mentality. This should be the best ideas win. And Democrats have been known to block anything that does not align with a moderate agenda. That's how Biden emerged. That's how Hillary emerged. They love to propagate, they love to proliferate moderates. And I don't think that's the right way. I know a lot of people think that like AOC is a radical left. But what is Trump? Is he a moderate? No. They vote for the left, the extreme left. I mean, the extreme right all the time. And I don't think that AOC is extreme left, but whatever. That's my opinion. I vote for her. I'm in her district, so that's my bias. But you need to go for candidates like her. It doesn't necessarily need to be her. I believe she needs to replace Chuck Schumer, but that's years away from now. So again, they're copying off of Trump, and they're doing these tours, and they're speaking to the people, which is in sharp contrast to the Republican Party, because the Republican Party right now, if it is not Trump tweeting or talking, nobody is. And you can gather away from that. So right now, they're also doing digital campaigns. Elizabeth Warren is going on social media, putting her, this is not mine, by the way, my joke, it's Mr. Orange Man, Pocahontas. I don't know how they get away with saying that. That's so crazy. She is not very Native American, so she kind of deserves that joke, but it's still yikes. Anyway, so they're trying to hit social media hard, and they're trying to catch up with the Republican Party. Not everything lasts forever. I was gloating about a blue wave forever, and then again, this swoop in with Trump winning, it became different. He is the movement right now, and so Democrats need to catch up. They are nobody trusts them. Nobody trusts Schumer. Nobody trusts Pelosi. She's in the background. She's back in San Francisco. There needs to be fresh blood. There needs to be fresh ideas. There needs to be working class ideas. That's a big difference. Democrats kept going to Matt Damon. They kept going to all these celebrities. So did the Republicans. They do their best with their Kid Rock and Joe Rogan and all that good stuff. But that's not where the American people are. That's not where Democrats usually go for votes. So they need to hit the campaign trail, and they need to hit it hard, and they need to come up with fresh ideas. And they can't block anybody. Nobody. Let the people decide. Stop trying to curate that. Even when they selected Kamala, I know it was late in the game, so I feel like that was the right decision. It would have been hard to rally against Trump's dollars. He was already established. As a matter of fact, he missed a lot of primaries because he knew that he was going to win. So, but that's what I'm saying. Duffy is the head of transportation, and I don't usually Sean Duffy. He is a former Real World contestant. Love Real World. That's my favorite reality show of all time. He is the Secretary of Transportation once again, Sean Duffy, and he had spicy language for the New York City subway. We can agree on this. We can definitely agree on this. I am not a Biden fan, but when he was vice president with Barack Obama, the administration, he said that the JFK and LGA were trash. Lakers in 5. No, I'm joking. That's a sports joke for anybody who knows. Shannon Sharp is blah 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 all over the throat. And Stephen A. Smith recently clapped at him for coming at him at a Knick game. LeBron, you are corny for that. I get it. You're a father. Oh, that's great. But mad people are fathers. But if my father came up to my workplace and defended me, I'm a grown man. I don't need my dad defending me. So that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I don't know why Bronny James Jr. would allow that to happen. But anyway, back to Sean Duffy. But the context that LeBron James thinks that Stephen A. Smith crossed the line and has been talking about his son when talking about the basketball world. And LeBron James Jr. is on the same team as LeBron James because LeBron James said, if you want me on your team to the Lakers and anybody else, you have to have my son. And he also said that his son was better than like half the league. And none of these things are true. And LeBron James is doing okay. He's doing okay in the G League, and he's doing okay. He hit 17 last week. It's a growing process. We will not know what kind of player he's going to be for a little while. But he asked for all this. That's my point. And it was real corny to come up to Stephen A. in public, mad places to talk to him, and he just wanted to try to embarrass him. And to be honest, he embarrassed himself. So see, I digress once again. Sean Duffy, he said that the New York City subway things are trash. Hopefully that leads to an upgrade. Yes, it is the best subway system, but it is outdated, antiquated, dirty, all the above. I'm down for some upgrades. There have been incremental upgrades, but I'm down with a whole facelift, whole Botox session. Please give us that. New Yorkers deserve it. And right now, one more on the political spectrum, on the geopolitics. Ukraine is waiting for Russia to accept the ceasefire deal, the 30-day ceasefire, which will hopefully lead to peace over there. Right now, the two things that Trump, and I'm not trying to make fun of him, he said that he would end on day one. They are on the third month of dealing. That's why peace is so hard to attain, no matter what administration. It doesn't matter who you voted for, what party you believe in. Peace is so hard to attain. So I'm not saying that he won't, because why would I hope for that? Why would I hope for him to lose that? I want them to broker peace. But right now, Ukraine, they just did a drone strike. They lost lots of territory in Kursk region in Russia. It's not looking good for Ukraine. Europe is trying to rally around because they know the U.S. is not going to lead, and they might leave NATO, the U.S., which John Bolton predicted a long time ago when he was an NSA advisor, when he was the head, and he left. But he said that while he was there, that Trump was not a fan of NATO. He was not a fan of the Paris Agreement. He was not a fan of the Iran deal. And here we are. These things have been severed off and sent packing. And so Putin is in no hurry. He has everything he wants. He has Ukraine where he wants. He has the U.S. administration where he wants. He has Europe, all of Europe shaking in their boots, trying to rally and trying to come up with alternative plans, trying to envision what the next 80 years are like, because the last 80 years was because of Reagan and JFK making us afraid, Truman making us afraid of Russia and making it seem they were going to be like the next Germany. And now we have to wean off of that idea, and Europe has to wean off of that idea. And so we're just waiting for Putin to accept the deal, but he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. So let's get on to the next segment, and that would be, what the fuck did I watch? All right. Who is Joe Gatto? Oh, and Practical Jokers. That's a funny show, but this is not that funny. Former Impractical Joker star Joe Gatto. I thought it was Joey Gallo. Shout out to him. He's trying to become a pitcher. I would say to the White Sox, but that was his last team that cut him. But anyway, Joe Gatto responds to sexual assault allegation. He's working on himself. It's an ongoing process. So he did not admit guilt to the sexual assault, but he did say that he did something inappropriate and he's going to take a break. Lucky for him, and unfortunate for the victim. It sucks. Nobody should be girl or boy, man, woman. Nobody should be touched inappropriately, and everybody should be made safe. Not even just touched inappropriately, just made safe in general. It's not hard to respect people's boundaries. Daredevil. We're gonna make a strict rule over here. Sometimes I've had hosts and guests, and when I say new shows and new movies, they pretend like I didn't say that, and they'll be like, "Oh well, it's new to me." Doesn't count. Doesn't fucking count. Follow the fucking rules. Daredevil, Born Again. So technically, this is a new show because it's a reboot. Shout out to Vincent D'Onofrio. He has gotten lots of praise for his role as Kingpin. And The Punisher was a great spinoff. I heard. I didn't see any of this while it was on Netflix. I did. That's what the point of this segment is. I call it Daredevil boring again at the moment. I have tried at least 5 times to watch the original Netflix Daredevil, and I have fallen asleep every single time. And there is so many reasons for me to love that show, and I tried to do it. I know, but it's uphill, Oscar. It's uphill. It's not that exciting in the beginning. And there's and all the parts of him fighting in the beginning are in the dark. It's like a copy of a Batman. And even the origin story where he burns his eyes, it's fucking boring. But it's a highly rated show. A lot of great things have come from the show. So I'm going to keep trying. Born Again is a success. It's on Disney Plus. Go check that out. If you like to old school Wild Things, it's the anniversary of the movie Wild Things. If you are a father like Oscar, he will not be watching that with his children. No. Nev Campbell, Denise Richards. And the reason why I'm bringing this up again, it's the anniversary, but also because of that anniversary, they did some interviews with Denise Richards. She has a new reality TV, and I thought it was interesting. I was listening to an entertainment podcast, and she started talking about her OnlyFans. So I do not watch the Housewives of, I think it's Beverly Hills. She's been on that show. My mother watches it. And supposedly there was an episode where Kylie Richards, I believe, her cousin, it's not her cousin, whatever. She pressed her about her daughter having an OnlyFans. And I thought it was interesting. I'm like, wow. So her daughter got an OnlyFans. And there's layers to this. There's layers to this. Sex working layers. The daughter got the OnlyFans. And because she was getting made fun of in school, Denise Richards, the mother, decided to make an OnlyFans for herself. And so you would say to yourself, wow, what a great mom. What a great mom. Like taking the attention, deflecting it, like a good manager, Joe Torre. Joe Torre used to try to take whatever mess that was going on in the clubhouse, and he used to divert the attention to him. So I thought that was cool. Then the daughter was like, yo, you're taking away from my shine right now. You're taking away from my OnlyFans revenue. What are you doing? So I thought that was hilarious. That's go Denise Richards. Don't be body shaming nobody. Don't be mom shaming anybody. Although, if you do watch her on The Housewives, or if you listen to this podcast, or if you see her on social network, what happened to her voice? She sounds like Kathleen Turner now. She must smoke a lot of fucking cigarettes. But she's still fine. She's still fine. Let's get on to I have not talked about this in a while. There's so many developments with this, so it's really hard to keep up with this, but we're gonna try. Ryan Reynolds says, Justin Baldini can't sue him over hurt feelings. Hurt feelings. So if you don't know, It Ends With Us was a movie between Justin Baldini and Blake Lively, and supposedly while she was postpartum, he made references to her body, and supposedly through her allegations that he made the similar remarks to other women on set. And on his perspective, he did not. She was the bully. And on top of that, she bullied him into taking the edits that he wanted for the film. It was mostly his film. And her leverage with Sony, the distributor, she got her cut. And supposedly Taylor Swift got involved into the bully tactic, but Taylor Swift did not know. And Ryan Reynolds got swayed in, but he's Team Blake all day, so he didn't care. They made fun of Justin Baldini in the Deadpool 3 movie with Wolverine, which was really funny, and they had the man bun. Justin Baldini is also a popular podcaster. That's why they made fun of him, because he's supposedly like a feminist, and none of this screams feminism, by the way. None of this lawsuit. So it's pending. It's pending. They've been and they've told each other that Blake has told him to shut the fuck up in court, because he keeps leaking out documents and shit like that, and text messages, some of them defaming him. So some people will call him, I guess, authentic. But it's getting messy. It's getting messy. And right now, Ryan Reynolds is taunting, and they still say that he's a predator. He has confessed on podcast appearances to crossing boundaries in his younger days, due to his addiction to pornography. Whoa, low blow, low blow. It would be perverse to permit Mr. Baldoni to build an entire brand complete with a podcast, TED Talk, and books off of his confessions of repeatedly mistreating women, only to turn around and sue Mr. Reynolds for $400 million for simply pointing it out in private that Mr. Baldini has bragged about in public. Wow. So yes, but whoa. So we'll hopefully keep that up to date. Obama versus Ant Edwards for us sports fans. Oscar is a sports fan. I am a big sports fan as well. And my favorite player and favorite president came together for the Netflix documentary about the Olympic team. They had Kevin Durant. They had the whole crew, Stephen Curry, going for the gold. And a funny moment. So the Obamas have a deal with Netflix, and they produced this documentary, which I thought it was too soon, but it did well. It did well. I think it's the best basketball documentary since the Jordan documentary on Netflix, the co-venture with 30 for 30. And it did very well. And so there's a clip that went viral of Obama saying, joking around, saying, I heard you pretty good. And Ant Edwards said, pretty good. You better ask somebody. I'm the truth. And this dude's a country dude. I think he's from Georgia. He's my favorite player. He talks so much trash. He was in a Adam Sandler movie. Shout out to him. We just saw the trailer for Happy Gilmore Part 2. Looks great. Everybody's returning. McDonald, Julie Bowen. It looks great. Looks amazing. No Carl Weathers though. R.I.P. to him. Let's see how they do that. It looks a little cheesy, but whatever. It's been a long time. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna see it for what it is. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near the first Happy Gilmore. That was a classic, sports classic, movie classic, comedy classic. It's up there. But back to Obama and Ant Edwards. So Kevin Durant, and you see other players, they look dumbfounded. They look flabbergasted because, like, how do you talk to the president of the United States like that? And again, I know that he's a producer of the program, so he probably was like behind the scenes a lot. They probably got really chummy, but that's another reason why Ant Edwards is one of my favorites, or he is my favorite player right now, because he backs it up. I'm a big fan of trash talkers: Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett. Shout out to my boy, All the Smoke. He's been on there a lot. Vernon Maxwell. He is hilarious. Check out on social media. There's so many clips of him. He was formerly into drugs and drinking, and he has lots of cool stories about NBA players. That's my guy. But shout out to Obama for that documentary and sharing that great clip. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to go viral, go with the young crowd. And Edwards is definitely the face of Gen Z right now when it comes to the NBA. So that was a good. Let's go to things that I watched. That would be The Return, starring Ralph Fiennes and others. It is about the Ulysses story of Odysseus, the Trojan horse. He was the leader of Ithaca, and he went off to battle. They defeated the Trojans, and it took him 10 years. And so there's a little mythology in this. Poseidon cursed them for what happened, I guess the infighting, and they set him off to sea for 10 years. He comes back reluctant to reclaim his throne because he has a lot of PTSD. It is very good. I highly recommend it. It was a very sleeper. It didn't get nominated for awards. That's the only way people would probably know about it. But it was during award season and missed out, so it didn't do that well. Running Point on Netflix, starring Kate Hudson, my girl Brenda Song. Macaulay Culkin makes an appearance. That's my guy. They're married. Oh no, they're engaged. Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin. She said she can't watch Home Alone anymore because he ruined it for her. He tells her like behind the scenes, but he didn't want to watch it anyway. So that was a smart move on his. He's like, you gonna make me watch this? I'm gonna ruin it for you. So he ruined it for everybody with Home Alone. So it's not even a Christmas tradition for Brenda anymore. Sorry, Brenda. That's what you get. That's what you get with trying to force my man Macaulay to do what he don't want to do. Anyway, so Running Point is amazing. It is a loosely based, another Mindy Kaling project. It is loosely based on the life of Jeannie Buss and her comeuppance of becoming the president or the operator or the governor of the Lakers. They have elements of the family dynamic, and Dr. George Buss is very good. It's got renewed recently for a second season. Shout out to them. And shout out one more time to Osmalo. I had a fantastic time on Fortnite. I still hate that game, but again, he's going to help me with Twitch. So we're going to do that. Marvel Rivals, maybe some other games. I'm going to venture out on my own. Twitch family, please catch this podcast. I'm going to be more on Discord, and that's going to be an organic thing. I'm not going to rush it. Whenever you guys want to, I feel like this is a quality program, especially the more I do it. So again, shout out to the Fortnite team, Osmalo. Go check out his stream. Pause. No, I'm joking. No, he's amazing, and I'm glad that he's got a Twitch following. I'm glad that he plays with his daughters on that video game. I'm glad they're having a good time. It's hard to find commonality with your kids, and to find something cool like that, and he's having a good time. But I do have to snitch on him real quick. I'm gonna snitch on you real quick, Oscar. I asked him how much he's paid for avatars and skins and shit like that. That's where they get you. These Fortnite games and the microtransactions. His wife don't watch this, so I'm gonna say it. $500. $500 on one game. What the fuck, dude? We got to work on that. We got to work on that. We're taking your credit card away. Taking your credit card away, Oscar. No, I'm joking. If you enjoy it, it's priceless. It's priceless. One more time, Assassin's Creed Shadow. The last one was Mirage. I need to finish that one. That's why I haven't bought this. I have a premium subscription to PlayStation, so I get discounts on games, so I don't get them right away. So it doesn't make sense for me. That's the same thing with Outlaws. I'm not going to get Outlaws for Star Wars until I finish Jedi Survivor, so there's no rush on that. But once again, this is the first Black samurai protagonist in the franchise. It's the first black protagonist in the game series and the franchise. So I heard it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to play it. Plus, there's bugs and firmware and what's it called, season pass and bundles and microtransactions like Oscar's obsessed with. So there will be plenty of time to check that out. Jonathan Majors, we're still in the movies. There's an audio clip that he admits to choking out his girlfriend. And at the same time, Megan Good is a great publicist. Not only a down ass bitch, but she is a great, because anytime bad something happens, they get engaged. Anytime this audio happens, they get married. I need her in my life. Not only is she fine, Miss Cousin Skeeter, she is holding it down. So he, in an interview, said that he has no regrets with what Kevin Feige did by deleting him from the universe, the Marvel cinematic universe, as Kang, that they were going to revolve around him until they replaced him with Robert Downey Jr. To play Doctor Doom. They brought back the Russo brothers for Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. I'm not excited about it. And Robert Downey Jr. is one of my favorite actors. It takes a lot for me. It was, again, there's over 20 something movies and a bunch of shows. It takes a lot for me to get into the Marvel scene. I like the more obscure stuff from DC. I like the more obscure stuff from Marvel too, Action Comics. So the highly commercial stuff that they make out of the B players, I'm more into the A class of superheroes like Wolverine and X-Men and Fantastic Four, but they haven't been doing that well lately. The C players, the bench players, the replacements, they've been the ones that have been on a high lately. So if you're into that, go into it. But I was just trying to talk about Jonathan Majors. Ooh, let's get sultry. Let's get goopy. Gwyneth Paltrow says she and Timothée Chalamet had a lot of sex in the new movie that he's coming out with about the most famous ping pong player, Marty Supreme, and that she shooed away an intimacy coordinator. And if you don't know what that is, an intimacy coordinator is someone that coordinates your fucking on set. So if you're having sex during the movie, if you have a sex scene, an intimacy coordinator is there to, put your dick right there, put your hand right there, lift up your sack, whatever, gaze into her eyes as she pretends to do fellatio to you. Make sure your Johnson is on top of that fur patch. That's what I gathered. And so a lot of people took that a little offensive. They were like, they are there to protect people. And her thing is, she's old school. She knows how to have a sex scene. Honestly, with the way people love Timothée Chalamet, I would have did the same thing. I'd be like, this is not a three-way. This is a me and Timothy fantasy. Shout out to my homegirl Sophia. She be stalking him at bagel shops and shit. Rightfully so. He's a good-looking guy. I don't love the male race as far as my sexual preferences, but Timothy, and he was great. He was great as Bob Dylan. He's a fantastic actor. He doesn't have an Academy Award yet, and hopefully he doesn't get the pretty boy curse like Brad Pitt and all them, where it takes like an insane amount of years. Leo, Johnny Depp never getting one, Tom Cruise never getting one. So hopefully he doesn't follow that tradition. I have two more things for watch. No, one more thing. There's an article on Variety, and it says, and it's labeled alternative facts. Unless your political documentary is about MAGA or Melania is coming out on Prime, and they have a few ones before that. Good luck getting a streamer to buy it. And that doesn't mean it's going to be positive, but there are going to be a mix of positive ones because he won. And that's what people want to see. And if you don't like them, you want to see it too. I've mentioned this before. The top players in politic news, they love when Trump is in power. They have much more viewership. He's so polarizing that people want to watch him. And I'm even mentioning him here. But we'll move on from him real quick. There was also an article, Will Ferrell, and he was upset that he did a documentary that involved one of his children or one of his friends in the trans movement, and it didn't do well. And he was disappointed. And to me, I thought he was throwing a little bit of a tantrum, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I listened to a podcast recently, and they said that celebs have been getting very upset that they're not winning many awards for these documentaries. And so, and they're the ones that fund really big ones, and the auteurs, the ones that are like, kind of the artisans, the low budget, the independent documentaries are the ones winning all the awards, but they're doing horrifically in the box office. So there's no returns for this product. There's no returns for these movies. And so what Farrell's saying, and what that podcast was saying, is that they need to throw these celebs a bone every once in a while to keep that balance, and so that it'll leave more money for the independent filmmakers. And I thought that was very interesting. Like, it stinks, but it's true. It's the same way in the movie industry. With blockbusters, you need Transformers, you need those shitty ass, you need another Mission Impossible in order to pay for the mid-majors and the independent films. And the same thing with music. Whether you like Beyonce or not, you need her to come out with an album, you need her to go on tour, so that they have a budget for the indie artists and the newer artists. That's just how American industry and entertainment works. Let's move on to the next, and that would be, what the fuck did I hear? And most of this has to do with Kanye, to be honest. But let's do it. Careless People. That's something that I listened to on audiobook recently. It is a controversial new book about the Facebook error. It is Sarah Wynne Williams. And the reason why I wanted to listen to it is because Mark Zuckerberg, her former boss, keeps banning the book. And that makes me want to read it even more. He keeps trying to get whatever published work unpublished and out of bookstores. And if it's not true, what are you doing? What are you doing? So Mr. Anti-Censorship, he's trying to censor his story. So I'm reading that, and it's basically how much in bed he got in with China so far. I didn't finish it, but like how obsessed he got into with foreign leaders and how to get his Facebook everywhere, basically. And it didn't matter where he stooped, and including with the administration, Biden and Trump, he just became obsessed with expanding the product. And so that's what I gathered so far from this book. I can give you an update later. That was very good. We have Drake. We haven't talked about him in a little while. His lawyers claim millions of people thought "Not Like Us" was factual assertion that he is a pedophile. This is interesting. So to sum it all up, a lot of people, the consensus is he lost to Kendrick Lamar in the rap battle. I do not think so. I think this rap battle has been going on way before that. So when you go bar to bar, I think Drake won, especially that Kendrick, there is no proof that he's a pedophile. Is there stuff that like is iffy? Of course. So that's why he ran with it. The Not Like Us beat by DJ Mustard is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think you and me, the listener, the watcher, we could have made a hit off that song. And I love Kendrick. But he also dick rides Kendrick a lot. He called him out so many times, even though Drake is the one who put him on. He's the put him on. He called him a colonizer, and he put him on. He put him on tour. He has said in interviews he'd be nothing without Drake. So I just thought it was kind of funny. I'm with Mal. He has his own podcast after the one with Joe Budden, him and Rory, and he's on my side. And there's not that many people on that side. But Drake is calling out his record label for doing what they did for him. That's what his proof is. They payola, they go to radio stations, they go to podcasts, and they over promote the song. So he's using the same formula that they used for him, which was a crock of shit. That sucks. That basically the cheat code. And I love Drake, but I kind of knew that kind of stuff happened. He was so big that they have to keep him there. I remember when they used to pay to put him on Spotify playlists that had nothing to do with him. That's his thing. But they did that for Kendrick, and he noticed. And not only did he notice, he's like, you did it at a time where he's calling me a pedophile. So that's crazy, because I'm reading a book about the Constitution, and there's this dude that sued. Larry Falwell. He lost one of the lawsuits to the Hustler magazine because Hustler magazine made a cartoon of him fucking his mom, basically. And when he lost that specific part of the lawsuit, Larry Falwell, it was so egregious and so fictional that nobody can feel like that is the truth. And so I guess that's different here because a lot of people already assumed that Drake was a pedophile. And so when he went to the Super Bowl, he's doing all this. So I get it. I get it. I don't get the record labels part. The record people, they're gonna lose. They're gonna get to some settlement because it now you're admitting that you do this tactic. And they're calling Drake a sore loser, but to be honest, he's losing a lot of money. And it's at a really weird time because he was in negotiations with the record label. And so some people think that to cheapen the deal, because he wanted an astronomical history record breaking deal, that they wanted to lower down his price. So when they saw Kendrick, they saw an opportunity to dilute his value. That's a conspiracy. That is the claim from Drake. And that's where they are with that. Let's segue. Kanye West reached out to Drake. He said that he didn't like him on Playboi Carti's album. By the way, that is I Am Music. That is Playboi Carti's new album. Go listen to that wherever you need to. Bully is out too. It's not on a DSP. I don't like to glorify Nazi behavior, but here we are. He's in entertainment. He's here, and some people say that all of this is a marketing tactic. He went on a Twitter raid recently. He did a public appearance with Nick Fuentes. He has met with the Tate brothers, who are in trouble right now in Florida for their Romanian court dates of sexual trafficking. And Trump brought them over here. He did the same thing with A$AP Rocky. He's a big fan of not only supporting what's his name, Conor McGregor, who's going for president in Ireland. These guys. So with Conor McGregor, he got the same thing as Trump. Like, he got civil liable for rape and sexual assault. He didn't get criminally indicted, but he was in the White House. He was like, look what I did. Look what I did with the Gulf of America. And Conor was like, I love your work ethic. So same thing with Kanye. He loves to get in bed with Nazis and shit like that. He even has a Nazi cross. He put up Nazi shirts when he was doing a Super Bowl ad. They took it down on his website. He's going wild. He deleted a tweet saying that Jay-Z's two younger children, who are not in the spotlight normally, he said the reason for that is because they're retarded. And that's wild. He deleted it. Tina Knowles, Matthew Knowles, they condemned him for it, of course. That's their grandbabies. I'm not gonna lie, but it did make a little sense. It's not right. Nobody should be calling anybody's kids retarded. He's still salty that they did not come to his wedding with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is upset. She trademarked North West's name so that she wouldn't be on the song with Playboi Carti. Kanye said that he doesn't like Kendrick Lamar. That Kendrick Lamar's he doesn't like his rapping. He said the rap is good, but he doesn't like his music. And he didn't like him being on Playboi Carti's album. Playboi Carti said, "Shut the fuck up" in a tweet or an X tweet. And it's been wild. It's been wild. He tried to get Playboi Carti's song, son on a track. My homegirl, Iggy Azalea, she tried to put a stop to that. She's like, stop. And then she mentioned when she tried to have business meeting with Kanye, and it's what everybody else says. He tries to inject porn into the subject as much as he can. He talks about her ex-boyfriend's dick. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's wild. And I listened to the album. I watched it. It's on YouTube. It's called Bully. I don't know how long it's going to be around because he always has legal things. He always samples things and doesn't clear them. So, but the whole thing is a visual album. It's his son in a boxing arena. And it's in black and white, and he has a fake sledgehammer, and he's beating up a whole bunch of adults the whole time. It's got Ty Dolla $ign on it because they just did Vultures together, 1 and 2. It's pretty good. It's not amazing. It's got a vibe of like Donda and the Sunday Service Experience. It's kind of like a mix of those two. It's nowhere near his classics, but he still makes decent music. And he needs to get back on the medication. So let's move on to what the fuck did I do? But we'll say where the fuck did I go. I might be going a little crazy. Let's I don't know what the fuck I put oh, okay. So I went to I Love Dogs happy birthday to my dog Wednesday, my black Labrador. Rest in peace to my Saturday. I have a picture right over there. That's her sister. Again, these dogs, they don't last forever, so just hug your dog as much as you can. Shout out to Kylo and what's my other homeboy's name? Oscar, you gotta tell me. I forgot. Kylo. Oh shit. Obi and Kylo. Great names. And it makes sense because he's a big Eminem fan too. And so Obi Trice, I love where he went with that. That was very creative. But again, hold on to your puppies. Hold on to your puppies. They don't last forever. So like just as much as you can, spend as much time with them. So happy birthday to her. Her Harley is coming over. We're gonna give her a little whipped cream and put a candle. One day, maybe I gotta move on it quick because again, the dog years. Cafe La Wolf, shout out to them. They do doggy parties, so maybe I'll do that one day. But I went to go watch another family member's dog, Blue, and this guy is retarded. He is a Staffordshire blue nose. Yeah, blue nose. And I don't like to say pit because that's like it's derogatory in my opinion. Like it's just a label to make it seem like dogs are crazy. And he's crazy, but he's not violent or malicious. He's really good. But he's stupid. I love him. He's like a dumb boy. He was chewing on a rock. And that does not bode well for the reputation. Like, imagine it's your fucking arm or something. But he's cool. Shout out to his family, my uncle and my aunt. They do a good job. My cousin, they taught him, to rear him with the crate. And so we had a good time. He only had to go in the crate a little bit. He's very young though, so that makes sense. To compensate, they gave me a little greenery, but he put it in a fucking lock. And he didn't give me the code. They went to a wedding. He didn't give me a code until later, so I had to smoke my own shit. First world problems. Shout out to my cousin again. She came out to trivia night. She brought one of her friends. And not to call him out, but like she has a few straight age friends. That is so weird. Again, I really hope that I don't ever become a drug addict or anything like that. But to not have the option of libations and good party favors, that's rough. So, but I don't like when people make it their personality. But shout out to him. He was fun. He had a good time. He wasn't one of those lame straight edge people. But I do trivia night. And that is at the Mighty Quins in Forest Hills. I don't know where you guys are, some of you, but if you are in the Queens area, I do that from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Mighty Quins. I host a trivia night. We do it on the app that is on 123 Fun. Once again, let's put up where you can follow the kid. So please, this is an independent media. So if you would like to support the show, if you want to get me a cup of coffee, please donate to StillVinSane on Venmo, Vincent Sanders and Zell, StillVinSane. Thank you for watching and listening. We love you guys. Follow us on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube and Twitch. Again, watch the streams with me and Osmalo on Fortnite. Shout out to him for having me on there and hopefully getting on there in the future more. And my Discord family, my new Discord family. Shout out to you guys. Again, you can follow us, watch us wherever you want, wherever you pod. I'm happy to be here. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's do this. You better shut the fuck up, listen up, and keep up with your boy StillVinSane. And that would be over and out, homies.